You can't be brave if you're not afraid. What I mean by that is, in the absence of fear, means that you're not afraid of anything. There's nothing to be brave about if there's no anxiety. It helped to explain this in a story. I had experience years ago. I was at a conference, and we had an afternoon break, and the idea was to connect with people, network, and go do something fun. So obviously a lot of people went golfing. It's not really my thing. Some people went to the spa, and I'm all about spa days, but I just wasn't feeling it that day. And the other option was zip lining. Like, that sounds awesome. I had a job a long time ago doing experiential therapy with juveniles, and so we were doing high ropes courses and rock climbing, and I was in a harness and on the way day in and day out. So the idea of zip lining, like, awesome. It sounds like a fun afternoon. I could do that all day. So we get there, and there's a group of us getting the orientation. We get our harnesses and equipment and all that stuff. And the facilitator had us all kind of line up, and he asked everybody, well, what is your goal for our time together? And, people were talking about, like, adventure or whatever it might be. And I was thinking, I'm just here to have some fun, and I didn't feel like doing the other stuff. That's what I had in my head. Well, the lady in front of me goes, and she says, I'm afraid of heights, so I'm here to conquer my fear of heights. Wow, that is inspiring, and frankly, I felt kind of ashamed of myself, This is something I do day in and day out, no big deal. This lady is conquering her fear. That's bravery. What I was doing was just passing the time. So, my fearlessness in the situation simply was not brave. Now, here's the funny thing. Because I had done this, and I acknowledged it to the facilitator, he's like, no, you don't get to just hang out here and do nothing all day with us. He said, have you ever done any gymnastics? I'm like, gymnastics? No. Have you ever done a backflip, forward flip? No. I mean, a somersault, I guess. It's like, all right, you're going to do backflips and go upside down all day long. Now I was anxious. Now I was a little bit afraid. I've never done anything like that. Flipping upside down. Like, now I really have to trust what this guy is telling me. Trust the instruction, and I really have to trust the harness that I wasn't going to slip out when I got upside down. So, the lady in front of me, she's doing her thing, like scared, but she's going. And as the afternoon went on, I did my thing too. I learned how to do a front flip, and then I learned how to do a back flip, and then I learned how to just like cruise upside down on a zip line. It was a lot of fun until the very last run, the longest run of the day, right over the busiest part of the resort as we're coming back to where the main conference was being held. I'm like, all right, I got this. I flip over, I'm upside down, I got my feet up in the air, and my pant leg got caught in the pulleys of the zipline trolley. So boom, I get stuck upside down, pants in the pulleys, tied up in the cable, hanging right upside down over the busiest part of the resort. People walking around underneath me. I ended up having to be rescued. It was all fine. I wasn't hurt. It was all good. Some of my colleagues, I think, were more traumatized than I was by my experience. But again, my larger point here is bravery necessitates an atmosphere of at least anxiety, if not outright fear. And it's within the fear, it's the ability to act despite the fear that constitutes bravery. So, for what that's worth, consider it. It's okay to have some fears. It's okay to have some anxiety. You don't have to wait for it to go away in order to be brave. In fact, if it goes away, then you're no longer being brave. So take that calculated risk, grasp your values, lean into your values, act with courage, do the next right thing.